Yeah,
Good
raced
morning.
here several times, maybe even back in the ALMS days, IMSA as well. Track that really suits Ferrari cars in general, mid-engine cars, good balance over the demanding corners of Laguna Seca. Yesterday wasn't easy for the teams and drivers. You need very strong performance in qualifying, overtaking, difficult task in the race, but also tire life in the race. 30-minute race, struggling with the overall grip. The surface is quite aggressive on tires, also the elevation change, and it takes a lot from the car and the tires as well. So many teams doing a little setup changes for today's qualifying and race, hoping to have a better performance. Like you mentioned, we had good racing yesterday, and we did see some overtaking into corkscrew as well.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, some brilliant passes by Andrew Parker. You were looking at Jamie Garrett a moment ago. She was on a bit of a charge towards the end of her race. Here she is climbing into a 296 Challenge car. Now, as Tony mentioned, a few people struggling with tyre life. I think the most marked one that we saw was probably our championship leader, Johnny Kaminsky. And I spoke to Brian, his dad, this morning, and he was saying, yeah, the tyres, they're struggling for traction at the end of the race, which is what Johnny had said to me following their race simulation, which they did during the practice week. 23 Celsius here, but 15 Celsius, look, is the air temperature. It's cold this morning. Humidity is a little bit of, sort of low cloud in the distance you could see on some of the shots earlier. Be interested to see if that affects the grip levels or not. But yeah, Johnny basically made some changes overnight, and they're hoping that will help towards the end of the race. We'll find that out later on today. Meanwhile, down in pit lane, Nina Jade Paul.
Good morning. Yes, down in pit lane, and it's quite tense down here. There were a lot of lessons learnt yesterday. Lessons on tyres, lessons on overtakes, lessons on qualifying. And speaking of qualifying, we spoke to Melissa Kozira. She's just hopped in her car in the post-race interview yesterday, and she said she didn't want to make any championship-defining mistakes whilst overtaking Tim Dweet for the lead. So getting it right in qualifying today is going to be absolutely key. She's going for that pole. We have got Shell Am up first. Let's get this session going.
Thank you, Nina Jade. I completely agree. I'm cold. Tony, are you? I mean, you know, we said it was quite European here, but it is markedly colder today, like it was when we were here on Friday.
Yeah, cooler temperatures, especially in the morning. Last few days, the sun has come out after the lunch break, so then the variation of temperature, also the conditions on track changed quite a lot. Still back to the tires, so I feel like this track is a good showdown. If you are not perfect with the setup, then the drop is more dramatic than on other circuits. So we saw a split around 2 to 3 seconds between the fastest lap of the race and the same fastest driver posting the lap times towards the end of the race. So if you are not perfectly right with the stiffness, with the ride height, everything related to the car setup and tires, it shows even more on the timing and scoring. And Johnny, great win.
Yeah.
But I would say win that he was able to do with his actual form, not only from the race car, but himself.
Yes.
He has a good belief what he's doing. He's fast in qualifying and fast in the races, but the gaps were way smaller than we have seen over the season so far. And going to this category, Shell Am, Melissa Kozira, yesterday stuck a little bit in traffic. She's a very interesting driver to follow, but I think she needs more clear space in qualifying to be able to do that pole position.
Yeah, and I think she'll want pole today. I think she felt she had the pace yesterday to take the win, but as exactly what Nina Jade said, I'm not going to do anything stupid because she has a massive championship lead now, and losing 30 points is daft. Bernard Gomez out on track. So yeah, good choice. I also spoke to Mitchell Green's driver coach Jamie Morrow, and Mitchell came up to goes, "Morning, Andrew." He goes, "I was told not to pass," and then walked off. So he was like, the team had said to him, "You are not going for the pass. You know, you've done brilliantly to get from 10th to 30." He goes, "I wanted second," he said, "but I was told not to." And I love the fact that, you know, Mitchell, who don't forget is paying for the drive himself, was told by the team you're not doing it and has taken it. But that's also the sign of Mitchell becoming what I would call a professional driver. You know, the team has said this is what you're doing, and he did it, and it is the right decision because they're not emotional about it, and he would be emotional about it. It's the separation, isn't it, from driver to...
good call as well.
Yes.
You need to play the championship game.
Yeah.
There's been a little bit of up and down in Pirelli Am. Mitchell sometimes Good performance, struggling qualifying, and then like yesterday, strong race. Jan Bernier yesterday didn't have any pace at all. He had some technical issues that for today are all resolved.
Okay.
But this is the championship story. Sometimes it's more important to finish P3 than to go for it and get a penalty or crash the car. So, like we mentioned, championship game, we are more or less middle of the championship where you start to see who is high on standings, how to finish the races, and from here on, a little bit more cautious, a little bit more strategy to play with.
Absolutely. Kozira has made the passes necessary to get her out front. So now it's down to her to do the lap. And the corkscrew, which we just saw, is where she made the mistake yesterday when she was on for a pole lap. And she didn't drop it, she did well to hang on to it, but she was sideways for a couple of meters and then had to abort the lap. So
but she lost the momentum on the critical laps. Then
yes.
It was later in the session, but you're a bit too late with the tires. And I think this is a planned thing. Get in front of the queue and go from there. We have 16 cars on track, but to be the leading car is right now, it looks to be the best position.
Yeah, get the space, get after it. So Kozira is like 134 at the minute, which is what we'd expect. It's at least another warm-up lap. The top drivers yesterday, Kaminsky, I want to say, did 3 warm-up laps. He definitely did 2.
Yeah, you need to feel, normally there's a little bit of delay with the front tires. So to warm up of the tires with the 296 Challenge car, the rear is more stable in the beginning on the opening laps, and you can hear the front tires screaming a bit, so you need to build the grip for the front tires, and when you have that feeling, then is the right time to go. If you force the issue too soon, you overheat the tires, you have cold graining on the front tires, and you lose the performance when it's the right time.
Lance Corley, you can see the purple strap on his dashboard. That tells him that he's the fastest car on circuit at the minute, but this is still the warm-up laps, and he will know that. So he's going a little bit more quickly than maybe some of the others are. This is the run down to turn 11. Saw some passes there yesterday. We'll talk to you about those later on. If you're watching the race, there have been some developments overnight. Corley will cross the line and should go to the top if his predicted lap time is right. And there we go, P2 actually, so he ended up 0.1 back.
I think it's against his best performance.
Okay.
So the time you have on the dash is the performance of the car.
Got you.
Yes.
Got you. Yeah, rather than our timing screens with the purple and green on. So yeah, he moves right up to P3. Was P2. Now Kozira's come through with a 130.3. What were the times yesterday, Tony, roughly?
Yeah, Shelam yesterday posted the pole lap time was 125.1.
Yeah.
So still warm-up process for all of the drivers. We are 5 seconds off the pace. This is one of the track as well where you don't want to go off the line. If you don't have the grip on the tires, you really need to be patient. There is no real run-off areas. There's not F1 style. Everything is tarmac outside the racing. Let's say the white lines or exit of the curbs. They did resurface the track some years ago, and they did widen some curbs in the exit, especially exit of turn 5 and maybe a little bit at 6. But overall, normally if you drop a wheel, there's dirt, there's gravel, and that might be an issue then.
Yeah, you're looking at another lap then just to clean your tyres, aren't you? This is Danny Patel. Very cool livery. Except it looks like he's had to have a front bumper. And there, you look at the dust just even on the curb. That's it. It's only just off the racing line. And then each time a car goes over. The grey bumpers are a giveaway normally that stuff happened yesterday. This is Befella. Corley goes quickest with a 128.2, but we're still not into the window of fast laps. Kozira might be on a quick lap now. She should be back round any time soon. 130 was her lap last time.
Yeah, here we have 141 T on the door, so T car. Jeffrey Nunberg was part of the accidents in the last turn when suddenly many cars overshot the last turn, and Jeffrey was involved there. Had a little bit more difficult qualifying yesterday. Sometimes I feel like Jeffrey's qualifying is the key point. Then in the races, he's good. He's able to pull an overtaking show, but we would need Jeffrey to qualify well today.
Kozira's gone quickest with a 127.5. It's so hard to tell, isn't it? And here's Tim Dweet, who yesterday was pole man.
Yeah, and Jeff is in a good place. He's just behind him.
Yeah. So he might be able to capitalise on that. Tim Dweet's time yesterday, 125.1, so we're still almost 2.5 off that. But Tony is a lot colder. Then there's a lot more rubber down, but also the coldness means more power because the air is more dense. So it's very hard to know where this is going to land.
We had Club GT on track. They posted competitive lap times. I was watching. There was 128.8. 125.8 was posted in Club Challenge. So the track is there.
Yeah.
I think it's more of a driver, tire, maybe even a temperature-related thing. We just need to wait a couple more minutes to see the lap times go down.
Corley is fastest now. Here comes Tim Dweet into the final corner. Yesterday's pole sitter. Down in P12 at the minute. This looks tidy on the exit from Dweet. Let's see as he crosses the line where he's going to go to on the left-hand side. P2, 0.199 off. So Tim Dweet is immediately onto the pace.
Yeah, Melissa posted now P1, 126.0. So there's still some gap to yesterday's performance, but it starts to show that the performance is there.
Yeah, only 0.9 in it. I was looking at the model car of Melissa Kozira in the Casa Hospitality.
Very beautiful.
Really cool, yeah. And the company that makes them is based in Bristol in the UK. And it takes 5 months. It's a stunning replica of her car. They take photos, get all Jamie Garrett looking for a way past Helen Chu. Two of our female drivers out there. So, yes, three women at least in this category. I think it is 3, yeah, Melissa, Jamie and Helen. Yeah, and it takes 5 months. So, but you take all the photos, get all the vectors of the livery, and then it's all handcrafted, hand-painted. It's absolutely incredible. Later on this year, we should see one as well for... I'm trying to think who I was told that it was... I'll find it in a minute. I wrote it down. Jan Bernier. Jan Bernier's got one coming as well. So, yeah, really cool. Nice for the drivers to have this perfect replica of their car.
Yeah, I've collected also.
Have you?
I have most of my cars.
That you raced?
The smaller scale, though.
So you're,
those are nice.
Talking of which, you're actually going to drive one of your old race cars today here at Laguna Seca.
Yeah, Lisa Clark has. She has one of the 458 GT3s that I raced many years ago, and I think on Friday she came up to me. Now maybe it's the time you do a few laps. I say, okay, let's do it.
That's cool.
Yesterday I was busy, and today we go for it.
You're going to go. Have you got your race gear with you, or will you borrow some?
No, I did not, but Scuderia Corsa has prepared something.
Okay.
So let's go for it.
Perfect, Tony. I'm looking for big lap.
I'm excited.
I'm
excited.
Nervous. Are you?
No, not really. But it's not, this is a nice track. I'm looking forward to go out.
The thing with the Finns, it's very hard to tell whether they're nervous or excited, happy or sad.
Yeah, it's always the same. The facial expression is standard.
I love Finnish people, so much fun. Tim Dweet has gone quickest, 125.3, and Kozira now on a 125.5. So they're both still improving. There's nothing in it between them. They locked out the front row yesterday. Kozira, I know, will want to try and get the pole. She wants that inside line, and then she'll want to try and get away. Dweet was quick yesterday, then she closed him down at times, but closing down and passing are two very different things. Where does Kozira go now with 4 minutes remaining? Not quicker this time. So that's the first time she hasn't gone quicker. She's actually a second slower, so maybe, Tony, she's rested the tyres for one lap.
Yeah, she's starting to close the racing line as well. She's very tight into turn 2. Also the previous lap in the last 2 corners. She's not using a lot of racetrack. She's really trail braking into the apex of the corners. So Melissa needs to be concentrated to do what you learned over the weekend and hitting your marks, using the track. And this way she still has a chance for the pole. And now Tim Dweet is improving still.
Yeah, 125.0. That's quicker than yesterday. And Fabian Sperman moves up into P2. I saw Fabian and his family this morning, so you know his brother was with him yesterday, and the rest of the family was walking in the background. He said, "We have a problem." I said, "What's the problem?" He said, "My other brother is not here." I said, "Okay, what's his name and where is he?" So, Gustavo, hello, you're in Miami, I think. So I think we've got the whole Sperman family now. Don't worry, we're going to get the whole Orsini family later on as well. I saw Mum earlier, and 2 of the kids got a shout out. We need a shout out for the other 2, or there's going to be family arguments. And, so
and this qualifying would be perfect for Fabian. So he has struggled a bit with the front row starts.
Yeah.
Then the starts has been a little bit of a disaster. But then even yesterday, qualifying more back, and then had a great run in the race. So starting place P3 as he is right now, that would be perfect for the race.
Yeah, just not the pressure at the front row, but in the mix, and then able to fight for positions. Here comes Nürnberg. So Nürnberg, where's Nürnberg? Down in P14. Jeffrey's a lot quicker than that, we know that. So let's see what lap time he posts this time round. Over the line.
Yeah, maybe there was some traffic.
Yeah.
Maybe some traffic. Also might be that with the T car there's something that is
not quite right.
Yeah, not quite right. Or
he qualified 11th yesterday. Only a second over the top 5. Look, Steve checking 5th, Mafella 4th, Sperman 3rd, Kozier up, and Tim Dweet. As you look at Henry Hummel, who's currently 10th, 2.2 off.
Yeah, last lap, a lot of drivers still posting their best lap times. Melissa's 25.4 was her best, still half a second.
Dweet's gone into the 24s,
wow,
24.9.
Third lap in a row.
Yeah.
He's improving.
So and now Jamie Garrett goes P2. So Jamie Garrett's gone onto the front row, and that knocks Melissa Kozira back. That's a brilliant performance by Garrett. She's absolutely flying. Steve Check was in 5th. He's in 6th now thanks to Garrett's hot lap. There is Jamie Garrett now. Great livery on the car. We saw her getting in earlier on. She was jumping in down in pit lane just after we spoke to Nina Jade earlier on. So 1 minute 15 remaining. Still some hot laps out there. There's 4 or 5 drivers on the timing screen who are still doing those lap times. So maybe with the colder temperatures, the tyre window is a little bit longer. Although, to be honest, the Shell drivers tend anyway to take their time to get into that window. It's maybe not so critical for them, the absolute peak performance of the Pirellis. Steve Check.
Yeah, Steve yesterday in the race had to stop by the pits and then he rejoined the race.
Yes, he did. Did you find out why?
No. Not sure. There was some technical stuff because as soon as he stopped, the crew went and opened the door, so there was something inside the car or something that they tried to fix. And yeah, then he rejoined the race.
Sperman over the line, stays P4. With 30 seconds remaining, he's got 1 lap left to go, but Jamie Garrett, I say, still did that hot lap last time round, so there is time for another lap here. For me, Sperman, Kozira, yeah, there's those definitely. Nürnberg, I think, can do a quicker lap as well. Here is Melissa, so this will be Melissa's last lap. She's not going to get to the checkered flag before it goes to 0. So Melissa Kozira, can she get to the front row? At the minute, she's on the inside of row number 2. Good braking down into turn 11. Not quite out on the curbs on the outside. Could maybe use a bit more track there.
Yeah, a little bit out of rhythm, Melissa.
Let's see what the time is. Yeah, 0.4, so she does
Still
improve.
her best, but doesn't improve a place.
More track width needed?
Yeah, a little bit in the exit of the corners. She's leaving one car with, or half a car with space, and at the same time in braking she intends today to close the line early. So not a clear braking and making the corner using the track properly. So she tried to carry a lot of speed even into last turn, and then the exit wasn't optimum. So but good tight qualifying. Tim Dweet posted a series of lap times, like 3 laps in a row, where he was able to improve. And now you see his last lap he was already he backed off. Yeah.
Fabian Sperman.
Wow.
Sperman's gone pole on the final lap, so Fabian Sperman has gone 4 tenths
Where did
of a
that
second
come
quick.
from?
I saw it on the timing screen before I saw it on our screen. Purple at the top, 124.5. Fabian Sperman has gone top of the table with his whole family here. We just mentioned his brother in Miami. I mean, you know, he's worked some magic there.
Yeah,
he's on the pole.
Magic man. Now you see me, now you don't.
Yes.
Last lap.
Brilliant. So Fabian Sperman, just as we're saying,
Wow.
Tim Dweet's backed off. He did his best lap the previous lap. Fabian Sperman has done it on the last one, and it's his 10th lap. So Dweet only did 7, Garrett did 8, Kozira did 10. But on his 10th lap, Fabian Sperman has still found the performance in those Pirelli tyres, and he goes pole at the checkered flag of the session.
Yeah, the family energy takes him to the pole. Impressive.
Really impressive.
That's surprised.
We haven't seen. I don't think we've seen a pole lap on the last, the last lap of a session with the checkers out all year.
Yeah,
there's 15 minutes in.
I thought Tim Dweet's timing and scoring went like purple, that he had the pole, but then it was Fabian Sperman.
Job done. Nice one.
He was ready for this morning.
He was.
How much did
Now
he
he's on the
improve?
front row, though, so now we need a better
How
start.
much? Do you have the lap times from yesterday? Can you find them? I think
can
he
find-
took away a
find
second
Fabian
or something.
126.6 yesterday.
2 seconds.
2 seconds. Fabian, what did you have for breakfast today? He was in Casa Ferrari this morning eating.
Plain omelette works.
Yeah, I didn't see what it was, whether it was fruit or an omelette or a chocolate croissant, whatever it was. That's the breakfast of champions.
2 seconds. Wow.
Yeah, 2 seconds breakfast. What did you have for breakfast, Tony?
I had the plain omelette with very, very interesting still water.
Still water.
Yes.
Okay. Is that going to get the lap time for you in the GT3 car later?
Maybe.
Well, let's find out what Fabian had. If you had the plain omelette, I feel good for you. Let's take a look at the results for qualifying here then for Copper Shell Am. On the pole in the very last lap, at the very last second of the session, Fabian Sperman going 2 seconds quicker than yesterday. Tim Dweek, yesterday's pole man, will be on the outside of the front row. It's an all-female row 2 with Jamie Garrett and Melissa Kozira. Row 3, Bifella and Czech. Row 4, Corley and Vartugian. And then we've got Helen Chu, Daniel Roberts, Henry Hummel, Danny Patel, Bernard Gomez, Jeffrey Nunberg, Jeffrey Keel down to P15, and then Michael Crow with no time. Here is Fabian. I think he's going to be pretty pleased with this. 2 seconds is a lot of time to put. Yes! They all go nuts for him. I'm sure the family will be down there. If not, they'll be watching in Casa. But 2 seconds is an enormous chunk of time to find.
Yeah, it is a combination of getting just more confidence on the racetrack. We have 1 full day of racing on this track. And again, the cooler temperature this morning. It took more time to have the right grip on the tires, but he nailed it at the right moment. And he kept going until he was improving. So he didn't park the car early in the session. And he just kept going. 10 laps. Impressive.
Very good indeed. Casa Ferrari, people having their breakfast down there. Who's ordered a plain omelette after seeing... we don't know if that's what Sperman had, but that's what Tony Verlander had. Yeah, what is the breakfast of champions? We will... When we should do something, what we should do is find out what each of the pole sitters have for breakfast later. This sounds like a feature to me.
Yeah.
What is the breakfast of champions? We'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can find out. Yeah, Casa Ferrari, fantastic food down there and a lovely atmosphere. It's a little bit chilly this morning, so the sofas yesterday outside in the sunshine were very occupied. Not quite so much today. They had the football on Friday when the USA were playing Australia. But mostly we're watching Ferrari racing in there. Nina Jade Paul is with our pole sitter, Fabian Sperman.
Yes, I am with Fabian and his whole family behind, all cheering for him. Fabian, what a lap. You were 2 seconds quicker today. Where did that pace come from?
Yesterday I have the pace, but I have an issue with the car. That's why I couldn't do the quali, and I did 3 laps on the car. We stopped because the car was not running. But today I was able to run the whole session and do my job.
How much confidence does this give you heading into the race, Fabian?
It's great. It's great. I like the track and I have the confidence. Unfortunately, yesterday I was not able to qualify good, and now I hope I do a good race.
Well, good luck this afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well done, Fabian Sperman. And I say his whole family there watching, which is fantastic. Except the one brother in Miami, Gustavo. Should have been here, Gustavo, next time. What would he do with the whole family here? I know he'll be watching, so thank you, mate. Great stuff. And the family really enjoying being here with Ferrari Challenge, which is what it's all about. That up there is the area where you can go and watch the corkscrew. And there's a load of tiles down on the floor where people have paid tribute to previous races or family members who love racing. What a great place. Down the left-hand side, that's the run-up. Look, you can see through turn 6, and then the kink just before the top of the hill is turn 7, where the gold and yellow, or the yellow and black car is now. And then into the left and right, that's the corkscrew. So we saw Andrew Parker make some brilliant passes into there. And he's out in this session now. Everybody due a few warm-up laps.
Yeah,
Justin Grazie Alex painted on the corkscrew. And that's what we were talking about yesterday. Alex Zanardi.
Yeah, thanks.
So yes, so I hadn't spotted that yesterday. I actually saw the text on the ground and didn't realise what it was for. We spoke about the late, great Alex Zanardi yesterday, and it's Grazie Alex on the ground at Laguna Seca. What a lovely tribute.
Yeah, there he had the very famous overtaking. I think it was the last lap of IndyCar on Colton Herta's father, and Zanardi often remembered.
Brian Herta, I think?
Yeah, Brian Herta.
Yeah.
Yeah, on track now we have Copa Shell, and on this category we had some after race drama. So we had the last corner move where Blake Rosser overtook Menard.
Who you're looking at now?
Yeah, after the race, Blake was given 30-second penalty for the contact, for the situation that happened, the accident that happened last turn, and it dropped Blake down to P8.
I think that's quite a lot when they swap positions, but there we go. That's what the stewards decide.
These are difficult things. Obviously, you need to have the consistency on the calls. If previously something has happened, something similar, and what was given there. Always a big penalties in a 30-minute race. Obviously, for us in TV commentary, we want to see action.
Yeah, of course,
We want to see.
And
the
it was a last corner dive. We loved it, didn't we? At the time.
That's always the balance of take the win or happy with P2. We love the action, and we love the fact that drivers are going for it, and then it's up to the stewards to make the call.
Yeah, sure. Well, Blake went for it, didn't he? It didn't go his way this time, but we love the fact Blake went for it. But fair play to Charlie Menard. That now means he's 3 wins in a row, both wins in Kota, and then the first win here as well. So I imagine Rosser is going to want to try and out-qualify him today, so he doesn't have to try and pass him on track. Let's see.
Yeah, we had 103. Michael Owens' accident yesterday with Whittle.
Yes, Whittle went a long way off in the gravel trap, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then tried to continue, but the rear left was off. Here's Blake Rosser, who was involved in that last corner incident yesterday. Say he was on top step of the podium for the celebrations, but later on that was changed. They've cleaned up the toy box branding on the side of the car because that had rubber marks all down it. And here's Andrew Parker, who yesterday, Andrew was our, what are we calling the award? Hero of the day? Yeah. I mean, move of the day. But it was kind of, he did it twice. So, that maybe gets you the extra hero. How cool. Double legend, we're being told by our producer. I think that's fair. Yeah. Double move into the corkscrew.
Yeah, it is a sequence of things. So he for sure has a good run on those 2 occasions coming out of turn 6, so the previous corner. But at the same time, on top of the corkscrew, when you approach, you don't see the corner, you don't see the braking points, you don't see the apex on the left-hand side. It is mainly a confidence thing. Confidence that you have in under braking in general, but also in that area of the track. So he did it really well, and he managed to keep the position also downhill, where there was some contact and there was some moments, but he was able to keep the place. So he got us all excited. It was beautiful to see that the Copa Shell drivers were the ones that showing how it's done in corkscrew.
We wondered, didn't we, if the Pirelli drivers would be looking at it going,
how you can do that as well.
I'm into this. So if you're watching Pirelli drivers, you know what me and Tony expect later on. We want to see you go for it. There was good passing, and yet last year when we came here, great racing, great event, not much passing. And this year, obviously, it's a different time of year. I don't know if there's less dust on the circuit or what, but we just saw a lot more action yesterday. I really, really enjoyed it. So I hope we'll see more of the same again today. You can join us this afternoon for the racing. Don't forget, both Copa Shell and Trofeo Pirelli. At that point, we'll be 2/3 of the way by the end of today, 2/3 of the way through the American part of this season. We've just got Sonoma in 5 weeks' time, and then Road America before the top drivers then will make the decision whether or not to head across to Spain in November, the Circuit of Barcelona, Catalonia. Of course, famous F1 MotoGP track where Lewis Hamilton won in Ferrari colours just last week. So it's actually pretty cool, isn't it, for they chose where Finale Mondiale would be a long time before they knew whether a Ferrari would win the F1 round there.
Yeah, that's a nice place to host the finals, and
good track.
Good track, but also the finals event. You cannot take it to whatever track you choose. You need to think about the whole combination of the paddock and everything.
It's a big event, isn't it?
Because it's the biggest event of the year. There is big showrooms. Normally Ferrari unveiling some new cars, race spec cars, but also street cars, and it is a big event, full week of racing and action on track.
Yeah, it'll be perfect for it. The paddock there is absolutely huge. Then you've got the complex, which is up at the top, which is a wonderful place to watch because you've got 4 corners at least that you can see there. 2 long straights. There's the back straight into that complex, which is a great overtaking opportunity, and then of course the front straight, which is incredibly long. So the corners at the end of it are pretty open. You're looking at Mike Luley hitting behind him, Kevin Orsini.
Yeah, Orsini really on it, really using the track in the exit of 10. And the difference now with the Shell drivers is they are quicker to faster lap times.
24.9's gone straight to the top of the table.
Yeah, he had perfect reference points in front of him, catching the other car, and now he backed off to create more space.
So a shout out. Oh, here comes Chuck Whittle. Let's see where Whittle goes. Moves up to P3. So I think this is the family thing, Tony. And I've got one more shout out to do for the Orsinis, because I saw Josine earlier on this morning and with her with the two girls. So Sadie and Bella are here as well with the two boys. And yeah, we were worried there might be a family situation if we didn't mention all 4 kids. But Kevin, bless him, came and saw us after qualifying. He goes, the kids were going nuts. And you go, why were they talking about me? It's like, and the youngest lad, he was like, is it because they know I'm going to be a race car driver when I'm older?
That was funny.
He's only 4, so we're hoping we're going to see another Orsini in a few years' time. Whether or not me and Tony will still be commentating remains to be seen.
Yeah.
That remains to be seen. But yeah, lovely stuff. So he was at the top. Charlie Menard has just snuck in with a 24.6. Borgio. Yes, I think Borgio span yesterday, if I remember correctly. And he's in P9 at the moment. Orsini, look at that. He's on it through corkscrew. So Kevin Orsini looking for another quick lap here. Although you said he backed off at the start, didn't you, to find space?
Yeah, at least it looked like. But let's see.
Boy.
This is a slow lap.
Okay, yeah. So he's off the pace. So he must have passed a car on the way round. But now this is Mike Luley was in front of him. So he is now on another big push. Orsini just with that body language that tells us whether or not a driver is trying.
Yeah, he's really on the limit, and a lot of confidence using the track before the corners, but also when leaving exit of the corners, he's really using the whole width of the track. Right now he's in P2, 2.5 tenths from the pole. I missed mine with my notes yesterday. Shell pole position, maybe you can.
Yeah, I've got it. Shell yesterday was Charlie Menard, 124.1. So and that's exactly what he's done now. Yesterday it was a 24.154. It's currently a 140. So he's gone 14 thousandths quicker. It's not a lot, but it's a bit. Borgio over the line. We're waiting on Orsini coming back round, so it's 0.8 back to Menard. Yesterday, Menard was 24.6 back to Whittle. So, yeah, he was half a second quicker yesterday, Menard. So it remains to be seen if anyone can challenge him at that point. There's that double apex turn 2 and then into turn... Oh, no, Orsini's gone round. So he cut that hard on the last lap, didn't he? He was really pushing through corkscrew, and it's bitten this time.
Yeah, we did spot the fact that he was on it. He was quite aggressive on the race car, and yeah, just too much curb, so the car is bottoming there. So you need to be careful when you do that.
Oh, has he kept it out the wall? I think he has.
Very close, yeah. But just when you cut on the right-hand side too much, it's a different... The curb has done differently, and then when the car is bottoming, you just lose the grip. And if you're asking more lateral grip, if you have the steering ankle pointed to the right, then it's very easy to have the final result as we saw what happened to Orsini.
Parker and Rosser both moved. Parker stays, Rosser moves up to P3, but he's 0.8 off.
Yeah, he has a little bit of traffic.
Yeah, it's Andrew Parker in front of him. Now, Parker, we know, was quick yesterday. Where did Parker qualify yesterday? He did a 125.2, whereas Rosser... Yeah, 124.8. There wasn't a lot. Wasn't it only a second over the top 10 or something yesterday in this category? It was super close. Number of the drivers commenting on that. So Rosser is in exactly the same position he was in yesterday, inside on row 2 at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's just Orsini. Is it no? Who's gone in front of him? Dayton. Yeah, Dayton's just done his best lap, slotted in with a 24.7.
Yeah, and Rosser behind Parker aborted the lap now, and he's trying to create more gap. He can have another run for a couple of laps.
Chuck Whittle ended yesterday in the gravel trap with the rear left Pirelli off the rim after a bit of contact just slightly further up the hill. Coming around now. Yesterday Whittle was P2 in qualifying, but he's P6 at the moment. Was that his? Yeah, that was his best lap last time round, 125.0. Orsini
matching his best,
yeah,
but not improving.
Yeah, he's 1/10 off his best, isn't he? Rosser. Okay, here we go. So 2 minutes 58 remaining. Rosser was 0.8 off. He'd love to get on the front row. He'd love to get on the pole. What can he do as he crosses the line?
Yeah, he backed off. He was behind Parker,
of course,
on the previous lap, and he was just too close.
Yes,
so,
you said.
Yeah, he backed off. So this is another try. Quite tight into turn 2, and then a little bit of movement. The rear stepping out a bit under braking. Good line through 3. Using a lot of track, so Blake has a lot of confidence. Closed a bit early into 4.
Yeah, you saw the adjustment, didn't you?
Yeah.
This is the one that's got a lot of camber in it, Tony,
you need to use the grip that is inside, and then with the new surface here, you can use really wide. You can go really wide in the exit of 6.
That's where we saw Tim Dweet really using the road yesterday, wasn't it, on the exit? Here comes Orsini. Spin on the previous lap, and now another good push lap. He's definitely on it, isn't he? Just from the inputs on the brakes and the steering through this corner 160. This could be a good lap, to be fair. Or he's using the dirt and everything on the exit of the last corner. What's it going to be as he comes over the line? Not quite enough.
His best.
It is his best, but yeah, stays P4.
He has done now 3 laps since 1/10.
Yeah, and the car was moving around a lot on the brakes. Here comes Rosser. So this is a push lap after the slow lap. Not going to be there because it was 116 on the exit for Rosser. Just looking at where they were crossing the curbs. Yeah, he's does move up though.
Yeah.
Does move up. So it's a better lap for Rosser.
Yeah, he's back to P3, but still with the 6/10 cab. Flory.
Yeah, Luis Flores just slotted in. Chuck Whittle as well.
He was fast yesterday in the race.
Yeah. Yeah, after his spin, if you remember, he, anger laps. Always good. Joel Rose over the line. Moves up 1 place ahead of Borgio. We have 56 seconds remaining, so just about a minute remaining. These will be the last laps, but the whole timing screen is lit up blue. Michael Owens in the pits has only done 4 laps.
Yeah, must be an issue.
Yeah, definitely. Everybody else. Menard actually only did 6, so Menard with that 141.3, and Whittle's going in. So Whittle has settled on P3, assuming nobody beats him. And looking at what Fabian Spearman did last time round, which is seen Orsini go for another lap. Blake Rosser is still out as well. So Rosser with 20. Rosser might get another one in here.
That looked good. That looked good. A little bit of understeering 10, but good racing line. He's using the track.
Smooth as well.
Yeah, waits for a little bit later entry for the last turn. Sometimes you can see with the Copper Shell drivers, they want to close the racing line really early.
Is he going to get there in time? He does. Rosser moves to P2.
Good lap.
He moves to P2 and he's crossed the line with 1 second to the checkers. So Rosser here is extending the session by 1 minute 25. Is he backed? You think he sacked it or no?
Let's see. I think yes.
Yeah, me too. Okay, so Rosser we think has quit, but he just made the line, didn't he? I wonder if he'd known if they could get another lap. But Blake Rosser has put himself on the front row alongside Charlie Menard. Menard yesterday had Chuck Whittle with him. Here comes Roy Carroll. Was P8, goes P7 at the checker.
Very tight. If you see the timing and scoring, is very tight.
Yeah, top 8, 1 second. Really close. So who's still out there that could be a danger? Orsini did his fastest lap on his last lap. Here's Orsini now.
Also here, 9 or 10 laps, and most of the drivers
still
on the last
doing
lap.
Quick laps. Yeah, like as we saw in the last one. So maybe it's hard to know, isn't it? The Pirelli drivers will optimise the lap much earlier, and therefore when the tyres are not at their best, you'll see it more that they can't match those lap times. Let's see, Parker comes in, so Parker's settling for P8, but yesterday was in P9, so that's 1 row further up at least. But yeah, the Charlie Menard double pole, and obviously, good job yesterday.
Shell drivers went 6/10 faster than yesterday, and Shell drivers matching the pace of yesterday's qualifying.
Don't forget as well, of course, it was Menard and Rosser who had the ding dong in the last corner yesterday. So we're going to have a fight between our 2 fastest drivers yesterday, just 0.3 of a second between them. out on track. The start's going to be absolutely crucial, so we can look forward to that this afternoon. Should be fun. Kevin Orsini right up there as well. Lewis Flory, as Tony said earlier, had trouble yesterday, but he's now in a good place to go for it this afternoon up on road 2. Great stuff. Another lovely, clean qualifying session. Nina J. Paul is with Charlie Menard, double pole.
Yes, double pole, Charlie. And how are you feeling after yesterday?
It was an eventful day yesterday. I don't like racing that way, and was a little disappointed in how it went down. But we got the win back. But today, I think Blake and I are going to have a heck of a race. I am really excited about the track today. The cool conditions really has a lot of speed in it, and the guys worked hard getting the car back. We did break it last night, and obviously you got a really good team behind me if they can go and do that.
Absolutely. I mean, you got a great haul of points yesterday. You got the win back, and it carries momentum for today.
Yeah, I think starting up front here is really important. As you can see, it's a little tough to pass out there, and starting up front, I think it's going to be an advantage.
Well, congratulations, Charlie. You tried to take this from me a minute ago, but here is your pole award.
There we go, great stuff. And fair play, respect. He said didn't like the way it went yesterday. The car was broken. That we totally understand that opinion. And he's happy to have got the win back. Double win in Kota, double pole here in Laguna Seca. So he's on 3 wins in a row and 2 poles. Can he get a 4th win? And it would be a clean sweep of this weekend for Menard, who's driving absolutely brilliantly. So I also love the fact that he said he's really looking forward to a great race with Rosser. So there's no animosity, it's just like, there we go, done yesterday, on to the next one, on to a race today. There's great camaraderie out there between them. So yesterday's top 2, Rosser and Menard, will do battle again today. Charlie is already looking forward to that. I'm sure Blake will be as well. Then it's Orsini, Flory, Whittle, Dayton, Carroll and Parker. Then Joel Rose, Borgio, Lully and Owens. Okay, all sorts of goings on in the announcing booth. The lights suddenly came on, and me and Tony did not switch them on. So we're spooked up here. So excuse the silence just for a moment. It's important that you guys know what's going on behind the scenes. We have switched them off again. If the lights come on again and we go quiet, then there's some sort of Scooby-Doo situation going on up here in commentary, and me and Tony have left the building. Michael Mathez here in his car, ready to go. Was it Mathez yesterday that had the rear wing issue?
Yes, and he also had the pole position yesterday with
Yeah.
123.4. So with our 4 categories, now we are progressing with every time with the faster group, starting with the Shell Am, then Coppa Shell. Now it's the Pirelli Am drivers. 10 drivers on track, a lot of drivers that we know really well,
Yeah.
drivers that also know each other well. So they know what to expect in this qualifying, but mainly in the race. So we mentioned several times Jan Bernier, Mitchell Green, but also many other drivers that who are really fast.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, Mathez, who's just rolled out the pits yesterday, was leading and had a decent lead. Behind him there was a battle going on. Mitchell Green had fought his way up through the field, and I think it was Porter that he was behind looking for P2. He was told by the team you're not to pass because he'd gone P10 to P3. And of course Porter wouldn't have let him through anyway, or would have done his best not to. And then Mathez, suddenly the gap came down to nothing. And we wondered what had happened. His rear wing had collapsed on the one side, and we wondered if he tapped the wall. We haven't actually found out what happened to him. But obviously the team will have fixed that overnight, and he's good to go again.
Like Jan Bernier yesterday, very difficult day. In qualifying, was affected with the red flag, and then in the race he had a technical issue, so he just was not able to drive like he normally does. So interesting to see. Car is fixed for today, and let's find out Jan Bernier's performance in the next 13 to 14 minutes.
Yeah, and he was the championship leader, of course. You're on board with Matt Deal, who I spoke to yesterday, and he said, look, I'm really happy with my laps by the end of the session, but he said, I've got to start getting those laps in earlier. He said, it takes me 8-9 laps to get up to pace. And with the pace he's there in the end, he said, I don't know what it is. He said, I don't know if it's me, You know, he's obviously having a good think about the process, but he's got a bit of a thing in his head about trying to get the lap in earlier. So obviously we wish him luck for that. And again, great indicator of the level in this series that these drivers take it so seriously.
Yeah, this is a good point. There is always things to work on. Sometimes it's the qualifying, sometimes it's the timing when the lap time comes, and also race starts, racecraft, how to use tires in the race, how to understand the setup. So even if you are winning in your categories, it is a continuous work, not only on the race car but also on the driver's side. And that is a very good point, because another driver doesn't know what the other driver feels inside the car. He doesn't know what Mitchell Green doesn't know what Jan Bernier does in qualifying, or how does he feel the grip. So these are the mysteries of racing, where there's no studies and no way to understand, because it's an individual way of understanding the braking distance, the grip, when it's time to go, how I go on throttle. And when you are together with your race car, you don't really know what you do. It comes by the instinct.
Yes.
If you need to overthink, normally the lap time is not there.
It's not there. Yeah, it should be a feeling, shouldn't it? It's a
it
feeling.
should be a natural thing that you understand the condition, the gap to the corner, to the apex, how to rotate the car, when not to force the car, and when really go hard on it.
But this was what you said yesterday as well, is that you felt a number of drivers in both Pirelli and Pirelli were trying to force the car, when the limiting factor anyway was the grip. The car can only deal with the amount of grip that it's got, and if you tried to force it, then actually push it outside the window anyway.
And one other thing is, sometimes a driver can be his worst enemy.
Yeah.
You're trying too much. How was the qualifying? I don't remember a single corner. It means that mentally you were just trying too much, and you were not in the right window on your mindset, on your preparation, how to approach qualifying. Obviously, you need to go for the maximum and the fastest lap of your weekend.
Yeah.
But you need to also understand what you're doing. If you're suddenly doing completely different racing lines than you were doing 2 previous days, means that you're not there with the right mindset.
Absolutely. Great analysis from Tony Villander, himself a factory Ferrari driver.
Yeah, it doesn't mean I had my mindset
No,
right.
but that of course, that's why you know, because you will know the weekends that it was easy for Tony, and the weekends where Tony sat in his bedroom in the evening going, why didn't I get qualifying right? Yeah, yeah, crying into his pasta.
Yeah.
But it's true, isn't it? It's true, you know, and afterwards sometimes you finish the event, then you look back and you're like, why did I do that? I should have done it this way. It's not always easy. Now, getting into the lap times here as well, because this is really interesting. Yesterday, Hayden Gibson, P9, we're going to ignore Mitchell Green in P10 because he had his best laps taken away. So Hayden Gibson in P9 was a 1:24.0. Michael Mathes on the pole was a 1:23.4. So 0.6 of a second over the 9 cars. And this was the reason that Matthew Diel said to me, who we go on board with now very fortuitously, I need to do the lap earlier, because he said there's 0.3 of a second in the tyres. So he said, I'm missing the window when the tyres are at their best. So I still do a good lap, but it's so late in the session. Now, those 0.3 yesterday could have seen Diel, instead of being in P8 on a 1:23.8, Joe Rubbo was on the front row on a 1:23.5. Those 0.3 could have been the difference between row 4 and row 1.
Yeah, 11 corners, and then if you do some hundredths of a second improvement in each corner, then is the gap that you needed to close. So timing, car preparation, the driver itself, so combination of many things.
So Diel crosses the line now. We're trying to look at his dash to see what his splits will tell him. So it'll go green or purple inside the car if he's on an improved lap.
Short shift, turn 2. Fourth gear, turn 3. Fourth gear, turn 4. I think he was still maybe 60-70% on that lap, so I think he was still
warming up
ready.
the tyres. Yeah.
Mitchell Green quite slow on his warm-up lap.
Is he in the T car again? We said yes. Yes, he is. So because the race car went off in quali yesterday, didn't it, and had a lot of gravel in it and a few issues, and the team made the decision to use the T car.
Maybe next race weekend, the T is being removed.
Yeah, it's that's
maybe this
exactly
became the main car now.
That's what we said yesterday, isn't it? I think he's going to become fond of this chassis. So I saw him this morning, all smiles as always. I wasn't allowed to pass.
Yeah,
off for
some
breakfast,
drivers
gone.
also, what is the right word? suspicious chassis numbers,
Yeah.
things. I won with this one. I don't want to change.
Favorite car,
Yeah,
etc.
giving names to their race cars. And
Yeah. Oh no, a number of drivers who do that. World champions who've named a car at the start of the season.
Vettel did it often.
Did he?
Yeah.
What sort of names?
I don't remember.
So again, from Rallycross, I remember Johan Kristoffersen, 8-time world champion. One of his cars was called Wilma. It's like the Flintstones, which is great. And it used to be a little sticker up on the roll cage. But it's just an insight into drivers. What if the car has a name? Yeah, if it's been good to them. And of course, cars get worn out. Yes, you can change parts, but what's Jan Bernier doing all the way out? Oh, okay, still fast. He's trying. Well, yeah, but we're early in the session, but long way offline.
Yeah, I think he wants to. On the previous lap, he wants to use all the track, and then when you cut the line, to cut back to the tighter line. So acceleration, use the maximum of the track, staying late on the right hand side, and then into turn 1, which is full throttle. You cut the line very, very tight up the hill. There's few things to be aware that even if it's full throttle to turn 1, coming here into turn 2, you still need to point the nose of the car in the right way. Because of the full throttle and you come over a crest a little bit, the front end gets a little bit lighter. So you always need to place the race car still in the right place to avoid all the issues with the track limits and staying on track, and point the car straight into turn 2, because under braking you want less steering input possible.
So Hopkins goes quickest, 1:23.999, but yesterday 1:23.4 was the fastest time. So still a half second in it, and especially bearing in mind we've seen quick lap times or quicker lap times in the other categories. So, Bernier sideways on the exit of the last corner, just tipping out, and he runs that white line again on the exit, but goes quickest, 1:23.9, so we're still half a second off. But look at the gap. There is less than 100th of a second over the top 4 cars. That's crazy.
Yeah, 10th of a second.
Sorry, 10th. Yeah, less than a 10th of a second over the top 4 cars.
Very tight.
Crazy. Wow.
But still more margin, still more lap time to come, I think.
2/10 over the top 6.
Yeah, Mitchell looks more solid today than in yesterday's qualifying. I think there were weeks and months of preparation coming to Laguna, and there was just a little bit of too much effort going to the first laps of qualifying. A little bit wide going into the first part of turn 2. Target is to have very good rotation and early on throttle to have a good exit of turn 2.
Here's DL, and behind him, Gregory Hopkins. So DL wanted an early lap time. At the minute he's sitting in P9. Come on, Matt, let's go over the line. Moves up to P5, that's better. Hopkins goes P1, 1:23.8, but we're still outside the window from yesterday. DL's run a little bit deep in turn 1. Here comes Rubbo now. In front of Rubbo is Porter, behind him is Jan Bernier, so watch for them on the timing. Rubbo goes quickest, 1:23.6, and Bernier slots in behind. This is much better from Jan Bernier. Yesterday, Jan Bernier was a 1:23.7. What's he done this morning? Bernier, 1:23.7. Okay, interesting. So,
Barrow's going really slow between turn 2 and turn 3 on the left-hand side of the track. I think he gave enough space for the drivers, but
it looks like he's just come out the pits, doesn't it, according to the indicator. So yeah, Bernier's time 1:23.796. Gutierrez quickest, 1:23.5. That's close to yesterday, 1:23.4. Yesterday was the pole. Oi, DL's gone round, so
Turn
Matt
6.
DL's had a spin.
Either the inside curb or he dropped the wheel in the exit. There's some weird noise. Maybe it's just all the gravel that is on tires and on the floor of the car.
And you get a bit of transmission chatter as well, don't you, when you're low in the RPM? Duck, 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 duck. You hear the cars round the paddock, and they always sound. Race cars going slowly never sound great, do they? Like you can hear differentials, bang, 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 and they go around the paddock. You're like, goodness me, what's going on with that? And then you get it on track, and it's bang on.
Yeah, Gutierrez, good performance. talked with him on Friday. He was okay with the rain the day before, but he wasn't super happy with the rain. And we've seen a good performance during the season from Gutierrez, and he has all the tools even to be on the pole.
Mitchell Green's in P6 at the minute. We need to see an improvement here, but if you look at the gaps, you can see why this is so tricky for them. And he does go up a place. Look at this, for exactly 0.4 of a second across the top 8.
Yeah, also the teams are learning the tricks of Laguna, and this weekend it's been tricky grip-wise. Oh, Mitchell Green sideways.
He's on it.
Yeah, no traction control there. Yeah, and it shows that if you do when you do the second qualifying, the setup is improved. Drivers have been, Barrow's little movement with the race car going into 6, and he was not lucky, but he was able to keep the 4 wheels in the right place. He's on it on this lap. Yeah, drivers are just improving. Continuous work, onboard laps, telemetry, yeah, this is the result of it. Very tight field.
Really tight. Rubo said less than a tenth off it, half a tenth off the pole.
Yeah, shows also a good job from Ferrari's side to match the drivers with a
in the
similar
correct
performance.
category. Yeah, in the correct category. This is the tightest, definitely, at the minute. Over the line, Burrows
improves, but doesn't improve his place.
Looking at the timing, yeah, Porter, Hopkins, Bernier, Mathes, Mitchell Green and Burrows all improved on that last lap. There's only a minute and 40 left. It's one tiny little over the curb on the inside. 0.4 of a second is a tiny mistake. It's only 0.5. Look now back to Burrows as he's improved. 0.7 over the whole field. Mitchell Green does not improve on that lap. On 26.5. Oh yeah, so he backed off in the end. Mitchell bailed on that last lap, so there must have been a mistake somewhere that he thought he was going to lose too much time. Gregory Hopkins
has backed off on this lap.
So Hopkins may go pit here. Most of them are on 8 or 9 laps, which is what we've seen in the previous sessions. So we know you can get a lap. Well, the Shell drivers are getting a lap time here, but to be fair, 5 of the 10 drivers went quicker on their last lap, which was lap number 8. So there is still time in the car. Michael Porter, sitting in 3rd at the minute, I think also has backed off. Is this Rubo, I think, going to go for one more lap? Yeah, his Porter's going in. Rubo is not, so the number 28 heads out. This will be his final lap. He sits in P2. He's less than a tenth behind. It's got to be a perfect. The thing is, at that point now, where you are, one mistake in any corner, you can abort the lap, can't you?
Yeah, and also the thing that when you come to the pits and the team tells you, we are just 1/10 off the pole, and then you go like, I should have done that corner better. I had it. I had the pole.
I could have cut the curb a little bit more. Yeah. There was slightly more track on the outside. I could have used it.
I saw a kangaroo at turn 9. I had to avoid it. Always, drivers are the masters of excuses.
Yeah, the driver's book of excuses is an extremely weighty tome.
Yeah,
it's there's a lot of pages. Hayden Gibson sitting in 10th, but 7/10 off. You know, you come here, you can't be disappointed at that, because 7/10 sometimes would be P4, P5. It is incredibly tight. This might be the tightest we've seen Pirelli Am, I think, in a little while.
Really using everything there was exit of 10.
Looking for an improvement on this final lap. Needs to find 2/10 to get to Burrows.
Good racing lines.
Yeah, he finds
Gibson.
3/10. If he finds 4/10, sideways on the exit. If he finds 4/10, he could end up halfway up the grid. Gibson doesn't improve. Mathes over the line doesn't improve either, holds P5. So Mathes was yesterday's pole sitter on 123.4. Today it's a 123.8, so he didn't get it there. Rubo, I think, has bailed on his lap. He's 1.2 off, so yes, he has. And this is Gutierrez, the pole sitter. Gutierrez is still on it. Double checkers are out. And no, stays as he was, 123.7.
Consistent. He did 23.8, now 23.7. So
yeah, his second best lap there, if that was his second best, would still have been enough for the second row. So Mitchell Green will be starting a little way further back. Jan Bernier will be row 3, Green on row 4. We mentioned them because they're right up at the top of the championship standings. Matt Deal will be with Mitchell on row 4. Deal was P3 in the standings when we came here, although that doesn't take into account yesterday's standings.
Yeah, the first 3 qualifying sessions, good job from our Ferrari Challenge drivers. Very good and solid performance. No big issues, no red flags.
Oh.
1 session to go.
Maga. Everybody rolling back to the paddock. Let's have a look at the results for this session. With the pole, Kevin Gutierrez, and it's Joe Rubo alongside then Porter and Hopkins on row 2, Bernier Mathes on row 3, Green and DL on row 4. But look at the times, 4/10 of a second across the top 8 and only 7/10 of a second across the entire field. Very, very tight indeed. Great driving from everyone down to Burrows and Gibson there as well. That's your pole man coming back to the pits. Nina Jade will go and grab him shortly. Let me have a look and see yesterday. Gutierrez yesterday was P5 on a 1:23.5, but the timing screen's cleared itself already, so I can't remember what it was.
I think he did a similar lap time.
Yeah.
Today was enough for pole.
So yeah, so maybe not. Yeah, I'm not sure with the timing screen. The timing screen scrolls to the next category as soon as the checker flags are out, so we lose the times here, I'm afraid. And with the memory of a goldfish, it's hard to remember exactly what happened. But we know he's got the pole, and he's very happy about that. Yeah, really happy. He's over the moon. Great stuff. Good work from the team to get the job done. Ferrari of Fort Lauderdale, all the crew down there, very happy indeed. And we wait now for our final session of qualifying. Yesterday's pole was Johnny Kaminsky with a 1:23.0. Tony Davis at the front of the grid line here. Less cars on track in this means you don't need to head out first. You know, if you're in Copper Shell, you want to be in that traffic jam right at the front, don't you? Copper Shell and big categories.
Yeah, and also the speed difference here is a smaller. David Piton is also joining us for today, and interesting to follow David's performance. He did the practice sessions Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, I saw him at breakfast this morning. He said, I'm really excited. He was going, if I'm P2, I'm going to go for it. Like, and I was like, good for you, mate. He's not 18 yet either.
Yeah.
He's 18 in August, so he's only 17 years old. Nina Jade is with our pole setter.
Yes, I'm with Kevin. Second ever pole with Ferrari Challenge. First pole here at Laguna. How good was that lap?
It was just an incredible feeling. The lap itself, I didn't think it was that good, to be honest. The times were coming in a bit slower as compared to yesterday. I thought the track was going to be quicker because of the cooler temps, but I just tried to stay focused on not overdriving and just feeling the grip, and I'm glad I didn't because I typically overdrive.
Yes, we can hear your team cheering for you behind us here. I mean, like you say, the margins are incredibly close. What's going to be your biggest challenge in the race this afternoon?
Honestly, I was really comfortable with my race pace yesterday. I think I'm pretty quick as the tires start to fall off, and this track's difficult to overtake, so I just got to focus on my line and not making mistakes, and I like our chances.
Well, good luck. Go well later.
Thank you.
Great stuff. Pole, brilliant job. Can I just say as well, great helmet hair. Like a lot of drivers, you know the score, Tony. You know, you take your crash helmet off and you don't look great. Kevin looks great. So I'm impressed with both sides there. Yeah, he said he's happy with his pace, particularly when the tyres fall off, and that proved to be key yesterday. Just got to nail the start.
But we mentioned also yesterday the overdriving. It means that you want to do more than the actual grip allows you to do.
Yeah.
And then that's when you go slower. So Kevin trusted that his pace and the grip he felt
Was enough.
It was enough.
Yeah.
It was a tight qualifying, but it often happens that you want to do more. You see the first lap time and then you want to go more and more, and then you won't see an improvement. So good job from him.
Yeah, nicely done. A little bit of tyre warming going on here for David Beaton. So David's just got to take his time, hasn't he, and switch on into this. There's George Grintovich, who yesterday was P2 in quali.
And very strong in the race.
He was right up behind Kaminsky.
Yeah,
wasn't
he was
at the
closing.
end?
He was closing. We thought that Johnny was saving his tires. He was up to 2 seconds lead, but then it was bumper to bumper on the checkered flag. So he had a very good pace during the race, and his tire management or the way his race car was using the tires was better than Johnny's.
Yeah, O'Brien said that Johnny was tyre saving early in the race, but he just said at the end there's just problems with rear traction. So they have made a change overnight. I'm not going to say what it was because that was said in confidentiality, because of course these teams, you know what it's like, these teams, we always like to have a good relationship with the drivers, and sometimes when someone says to you, this is what we've done, please don't say anything. I'm happy to respect that, because not that they said that, but they told me exactly what it was, and yeah, it's so tight at the top that I'm not going to spoil the fun. But they have made a change from yesterday, and they're hoping that, of course, the problem is they can't tell whether that change will work until the race, because now they're not going to do that race distance.
And also, these cars and drivers are in the proper window. You don't have steps that going to make you 1 second per lap quicker.
It's finessing, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's fine tuning, and engineers are there, telemetry is there, but I'm still a bit old school on this matter, that it's a lot about the driver input, what the driver says after the race.
Yeah.
What is the main thing that is preventing you to go faster? Is it the front axle, the rear axle? Is it under braking? Is it the traction itself, or how the car handles with the front tires? So those are the information that drivers should be able to give to his engineer.
Yeah. Beaton sliding the car around already. He's only done 2 laps, probably wants more. Kaminsky here cruising around. These guys very similar age. Again, talking to Brian last night, I love this. They were going to head out for dinner, and Johnny was like, Dad, I've got to study. So he's got his final, he's finishing his junior year this week. He's got 2 exams this week, and then they need to make some decisions about what they're going to do next year in terms of racing. Of course, there's a slight crossover because the school year will start September-ish, I guess, over here in the States, if it's the same as it is in Europe. And so, yeah, Johnny has his senior year to do. They need to decide, is he going to focus full-time on racing? But also, the family are very sensible. You still have to have some academic qualifications. So, yeah, Johnny spent last night studying. So, apart from studying the data during the day and then studying for school in the evening. It's a lot when you're young. But great to hear that he's got the same attitude towards his school studying as he has towards his data studying. Tony Davis up to the top using all the curbs on the run into corkscrew. Kink right 7, then it's 8, that's 9. He's 8, he's through 8 and 8A. This is 9, Rainey curve, named after Wayne Rainey, famous motorcyclist, and then into 10. I might have to hit YouTube later, Tony. There's got to be a compilation, hasn't there, of best moves at the corkscrew and best moves at turn 11, the last corner, because there've been some bangers there over the years, haven't there?
Yeah, there's been, with the endurance racing, the last turn especially has been very decisive, often in IMSA, and before that in ALMS. We had full course yellow safety car in the last 30 minutes of racing, and then everybody's back together, and it's a dogfight.
Yeah.
And last turn, being the slowest on track, and for the nature of the corner, we've had big fights with different brands and different drivers over the years, and some moves a little bit on the limit, but yeah.
Yeah. If we end up in the gravel on the outside of 11, it was probably over the limit, but we still admire you for trying. Yeah. Here's Grintovich. Say yesterday he was on the front row with a great qualifying lap and then drove really well in the race. So for me, yesterday was a big step for Grintovich. I was a front runner in Club Challenge. Last year, I'm sure I was doing the podiums for him, and he was up there. Beaton 124.9. But still, we're not seeing the true pace yet.
Strong start from David. He's way faster than the other drivers. But right now, I think they are not 100% on the limit yet. So a couple more laps needed to see where the timing and scoring settles.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, Johnny Kaminsky, the pole sitter yesterday, it took 3 full laps to
warm the tires.
To warm up the tires. So we are around that area now, so maybe this one or the next one will be
what we're looking for. This is definitely going to go top, looking at where he is on track. He does 1.2 seconds quicker, 123.2. Yesterday's pole was a 123.0. So who went yesterday? 123. Yeah, Grinzovich was a 23.0 as well. See, Grinzovich was really close in the end yesterday, wasn't he? 123.3. Yes, well, 123.2. That would have been enough for P2 on the grid yesterday, but close to P3. Grinzovich goes P2, so he goes to where he was yesterday, but he's a few tenths slower than he was yesterday. He's about 0.6 off. Kaminski's about 0.2 off. Perina goes in 0.2, so Perina's time 123.494. Yesterday he did a 123.3, so Perina is closest to yesterday's pace of his own.
Oh,
and everybody went
dropped the
quicker.
wheel, exit of 3.
Yeah?
Yeah, went a bit wide.
Look at the amount of track Kaminski uses and compare that to earlier with Orsini. Orsini's previous lap where we saw him cut the curbs, he was already a long way in, and the lap where he span, it was a lot more. So I think it's a good indicator of how you don't want to go much deeper, I suppose, than Kaminski is going. This should be the lap for Kaminski because he will know that he's only got the peak in the tyres for a couple. It's better in turn 11 for me. But is it better on the clock as he comes over the white line at the end of the lap? I think it is slightly. It's very slightly. So half a tenth quicker than before, and still he remains purple at the top of the timing screen. Brian Cook coming down now. Cook sitting in 6th, look, 1.5 off. Yesterday did a 24.0. The minute he's on a 24.7, so this should be, he has more pace in him. Yeah, and there it is. 24.0 this time round, so he's actually on exactly very, very similar pace to yesterday. Grinzovich, P2. Everybody's still improving on lap 5. So often we see 3 is the lap, but here I think with 3 laps to warm them up, potentially 6, 7 it could be the quickest laps.
Yeah, this is the moment of the qualifying. Perina looks a bit better than yesterday. A little movement going into 3. And also on Johnny Kaminski's driving, you can clearly spot the confidence. He's controlling the car, under braking, all the racing lines he's choosing. You can see the aggression in the right way on young Johnny's driving.
Yeah.
And also here, very tight, top 4 in less than 3 tenths.
Yeah, the whole field in less than 8. So Pirelli and Pirelli Am really close. Favre using all of the track on the exit of 10. P5 at the minute. Only 5 minutes left, so 2/3 of the way through this session. Nobody's showing us pitted yet. And that's the first time we've not seen an improved lap. So Brian Cook about to cross the line. Some of these drivers. Yeah, Cook goes quicker. Trying to figure out when the pace in the tyres will go away. 122.9 for Kaminski is quicker than yesterday.
Oh, Perina came close.
To the edge?
No, to the pole.
Oh, sorry, I missed. I was looking down at my timing sheets.
0.5.
Yeah, so they're
0.05.
both in the... he's 23.0 and Kaminski's 22.9. So, yeah, we have found some pace from yesterday. Perina's 123.049 would have been enough for P2 yesterday. Would have beaten Grinzovich by half a tenth.
Yeah,
He's backed off, hasn't he?
Perina has found more pace compared to yesterday.
Yeah, his time yesterday was 123.3, so he's found 0.3 of a second. Kaminski has only found a tenth, but it's enough to put him into the 22s. So 122.9, good job by Johnny. Here comes Brad Favre. 4 minutes remaining, but I think the fact you can see some of the lead drivers are backed off is they're now thinking, I need the rubber later. Especially now if Perina is on that super close pace to Kaminski. Yeah, he's backed off. Has Beaton backed off as well? Yeah, Beaton bit side. So Beaton strong start earlier in the session. He's definitely backed off now. So the question mark is whether or not they go for, whether they have a cool down lap and then go again, or whether you're headed straight for the pits. 7 laps for Beaton, 6 laps for Perina. Beaton's going to go again, Perina is not. Here comes Grintovic. So Grintovic has gone again. He's down in turn 1. So
Yeah, he had a very slow cool down lap. He did a 1:37, so 14 seconds slower, really cooling the tire temps, staying on the racing line, but cooling the tires. And when you are back on it, then you need to feel the grip. And I think he backed off already. He had again like the misfire thing coming out of 3. A little bit of smoke from the rear of the car, and maybe it's a combination.
Was it Grintovic yesterday? I can't remember if it was him or somebody else yesterday.
It was Mitchell, maybe.
We saw a few people hit the limiter there.
Yeah,
didn't
maybe
we?
it's a combination of the exit curb and
Yeah.
everything that something happens.
Just being, if you're just under the limiter and then you get wheel spin on the curb.
Yeah.
Maybe. Valvera did go quicker last time round, but doesn't go quicker this time round, and with 2 minutes remaining. We don't have the pit indicators not showing us who's in and who isn't at the minute.
Yeah,
Beats
Piton is
on.
in the traffic with Grinčević.
Slightly compromised on his entry into 9. Does he abort or does he stay out? He stays out. Grintovic goes in. So Beaton is going to be one of the drivers who's going to go right to the end. Tony Davis is still out as well. He's 4th at the minute. Where was Davis yesterday? He was 4th yesterday. 1:23.6 yesterday. 1:23.4 today. So he's found time and decides to go in.
Yeah, good performance from Tony Davis.
So Kaminsky and Perina are in the pit. Grintovic and Davis we've just seen go in. This is Cook who's still out.
Yeah. Brian is still on the fast lap.
Yeah. So we have the lower 3 drivers are still out. The top 4 are in pit lane. You are probably at the point now in the session where if the lap, you make a mistake, you'll abort the lap. Down to the final corner then for Brian Cook. He's got 40 seconds left. He can have another lap if he wants, but he's already on 8. Kaminsky and Perina pulled in after 6 laps. Both did their best lap on that 6th lap. Yeah, no improvement for Cook this time round. So 6 laps for the top 2 cars, 7 for Grintovic, 8 for Davis and Valvera, and 9 for Cook and Beaton. The only reason let's see if Beaton goes quicker here. He doesn't. So the reason and he's on 10 laps, the reason we highlight that, Tony, is yesterday tyre wear was absolutely critical in this race, wasn't it?
Yeah, still Brian Cook and David Piton both match almost their fastest lap times. Brian also had a very slow cool down lap, but there's no more from the tire pressure, from the tires, no more grip available. So that's it. Even if you're optimizing a bit, you're driving after the cool down lap, but the peak of the tire is gone.
Yeah. So there is Perina. You saw a shot a minute ago of Kaminsky. So they're in, helmets off, hats on.
Yeah, so
what's he saying, Tony?
Yeah, in Italian. So Roberto saw the predicted lap time and he saw a big improvement. He was going for it, and then the lap later he just had a big sort of off. He had a big a moment where he lost a lot of time, and he knew that was his best lap time, but he was more or less explaining, I think was either the 4th gear or corner number 4, where he was carrying more speed or using, for example, 1 gear more somewhere than compared to yesterday, and like we mentioned, he improved by 2 or 3 tenths. With seeing the field like it is, it's a big improvement.
Massive, yeah, huge. Gets him onto the front row. Grintovic and Davis on row 2. So basically Perina and Grintovic have swapped places from yesterday, and then Valvera and Cook are also in the same places. So beats on the additional driver today. So Kaminsky with the pole, 1:22.990. It's literally, it's 26 hundredths quicker than he went yesterday, but it sees him into the 22s, which is cool. Perina, big improvement, 3/10 gets him into P2. Grinzovic didn't find the same pace he found yesterday and finds himself third with Tony Davis. Falvert and Cook qualifying the same place as they did yesterday, 5th and 6th. And David Beaton, who didn't race yesterday, is just 5 thousandths of a second off being up on row 3. Johnny Kaminsky is with Nina J. Paul. He continues his incredible run of form this year in qualifying.
Yes, Johnny, the margins were incredibly tight, but you got the job done. You put it on pole. When we spoke yesterday, you said you wanted to tweak the setup today. So how's the balance?
Yeah, no, it felt really good, and I can't thank the 111 team enough for giving me a great car this morning. So super excited to get another pole here and looking forward to the race.
You're going to have to get a bigger shelf for these pole positions awards, Johnny. But here you are. Congratulations on your pole position award.
Thank you.
Job well done. It's another pole for Kaminsky.
Both pole positions with the tiniest margin yesterday and today. There's a different driver in P2, but showing that it wasn't easy yesterday, but the same story today.
Amazing, amazing. 7 out of 8 pole positions for Johnny Kaminsky. He'll be looking to convert that to a race win later on today. It will be a fantastic afternoon's racing. So join us at 2:10 p.m. That's 14:10 p.m. Pacific time this afternoon if you'd like to see the action. My thanks to Nina J. Paul, Tony Villando. My name's Andrew Coley. Enjoy your day. We'll see some more action from Ferrari Challenge North America later on.